you obviously know a lot about lithium by the questions you're asking, so you do.
Thank you, Simon, for coming to my interview. This announcement, which is very exceptional at the way project. The intersection is that is comparable to the core lithium. Yeah, so core lithium is really a proven production projects. So you're probably the next core.
I guess we're following in Core's footsteps. They've been working on these properties for some 5 or 6 years, and in many ways they've cracked the geological code, and we're following the same proven techniques to prove up a number of deposits, which we hope to bring into the mining stage over the next 1 to 2 years. So it is a very exciting time to be exploring for lithium in the Northern Territory of Australia.
It's not too surprised that you have a very high grade of lithium pegnet as good as core, because that, as you said, that is the first mover. Lithium Plus is the first mover in this industry. Because I remember that Dr. Guo, 2018, that he told me that he got a lithium project in North Territory. So take the first mover advantages. So it's not very surprising that you got one of the world-class lithium projects, definitely.
Yeah, so Dr. Bin Guo had a lot of foresight. I think he's a very smart person with a lot of experience in lithium exploration. He acquired the tenements back in 2018, and I believe they're strategic tenements because they cover more than 1,700 square kilometres.
Nice.
Wow.
Much of that in the Bino lithium field, which is, I think, emerging as one of the preeminent lithium provinces in Australia.
Wow.
So Dr. Guo picked up these tenements. He put the tenements into Lithium Plus, and we're now, I guess, offering investors exposure to this exciting Bino lithium field.
And previously, before Lithium Plus, and he was the non-executive director of North American Lithium, which was a producing project under CATL, also one of your strategic investors.
Yeah. So I guess we've got that strong connection through to CATL, introduced by Dr. Guo, and that's a relationship which I think is really important to the business. And clearly, CATL is the world's leading battery manufacturer. They're a first-class organisation. They're one of the biggest companies in the world, and for them to partner with Lithium Plus, I think, adds a lot of momentum to our business. So our strategy is to explore with them potential take arrangements, perhaps next year, where we can discuss how we could jointly develop these discoveries we're making so that we could export our lithium rock to China for processing into battery grade materials. So it's a really exciting partnership.
Your strategic advantages in this project is that actually your location that is very close to Port Darwin. Yeah, that is about 45 kilometers away from the port.
Yes, it's a really important point, and obviously Australia is a very big country, and there's mineral resources spread all over the country, but I think it's very important to be focusing our exploration efforts on locations that are close to infrastructure. And in this case, as you say, we're less than 50 kilometres from the Port of Darwin. There's road to our site, there's power, there's accommodation for workers. So it means that we can make discoveries and then quickly and at low cost connect the mine to the port. Some of the other Australian companies are operating in very remote parts of the Pilbara, which is a very good area for lithium. It's in Western Australia, but it's a long way from port. So you need to get very large discoveries for them to be economic. And I think Core has demonstrated that where we're located is that you can actually have really good commercial success with relatively small deposits. And we know we've got lithium on our ground, so it's a matter of now proving up those deposits, and then through the proximity of low-cost mining, through proximity to infrastructure, we can then commercialise these discoveries.
Yeah. So when do you expect to have a PEA?
Okay, so we are working on that process at the moment. So I suspect, so the first step for that process is to complete our mineral resource estimate. So it's to be able to put in an independent report, a calculation to determine how much lithium and at what grade we have. When we've done that, and we'll do that this year, before the end of this year, we will then be in a position to start our PEA. And I would expect that would take, that would be completed during the course of 2024. And in parallel with that, we've already started the environmental studies. And so the completion of the environmental studies, the completion of the PEA or economic feasibility studies will enable us to lodge mining license applications around the middle of next year. So say June or July 2024. Typically, a mining license takes around 12 months to be approved by the government. So, by mid-2025 position, where we would be able to commence construction and then commence the export of the ore to our customers. And I would imagine there will be some sort of commercial arrangement with CATL and perhaps other off-takers, which would facilitate the commercial arrangements.
Do you have any other off-takers so far?
So at the moment, we've not signed any off-take arrangements. Our plan is to have discussions with CATL in the coming months, perhaps in the early part of next year. But I would imagine that this material will be exported to China because that's obviously where the low-cost processing is occurring, and obviously China's the leader in that processing technology. Developing what I call a dual track strategy. So two strategies running in parallel. The first strategy is to simply mine and export the raw rock. So this is the rock as it's called direct shipping ore. So we literally dig up the rock, DSO, and then ship that straight to China for processing. That's a strategy which is very quick to implement and means that we can generate early cash flow for the business and provide that rock for our off-taking partners. Whilst we're doing that activity, we can then do further studies and further exploration to justify the capital cost to build a processing plant. And this is a strategy that Core implemented. They've now got their processing plant up and running, but they were able to get some early cash flow by selling direct shipping ore to customers in China.
I also read your recent announcement that because of the excellent results from Lei project, from the recent drilling holes, so there is a new opportunities for the SO.
Key things is this is really high grade. So we've got parts of our ore body which are grading 1.9% lithium, which in the context of lithium is extremely high. So a typical ore body for lithium pegmatite might be 1.3, 1.4. I think the average grade for us is probably 1.5, 1.6. But within that, we've got high grade components ranging up to 1.9% lithium, which is extremely high, which means it's very conducive to DSO type operations. I guess the other sort of points to make is that we're rapidly defining this ore body at Lei, which is our first discovery. That sort of starts at surface and extends down. We've drilled down to about 600 metres so far, deep underground, so it continues at depth. What we will do in coming weeks is drill some of our other prospects where we've got pegmatites, lithium pegmatites at surface. We want to drill those and prove up how big these deposits are. So we would hope to have 2, 3, 4 deposits defined during the course of next year.
It reminds me of a question that the investor usually ask for a project. So is it how many holes, drilling holes, have you done so far?
Look, it's we've been doing a combination of what's called RAB holes, C holes and diamond holes. So RAB holes they're very, very quick to drill. RC holes are also quite quick, but they give some better geological information. And then the best holes are called diamond holes, where we actually extract a core of rock from deep underground. These are very slow and quite expensive to drill. So we're currently, I think we're doing 18,000 meters of drilling.
Oh, wow.
But I would say we've done probably 20 or probably 30 or 40 holes this year.
Okay.
A lot of drilling, and that's not just at Lay, that's at some of our other prospects. And obviously sometimes we drill and we don't find, we might miss the target, and then sometimes when we find the target like we do at Lay, we then do lots of holes to increase the confidence, put lots of drill density in, so we've got high level of confidence to say the deposit is, X million tonnes in size at X grade. You obviously know a lot about lithium by the questions you're asking. So you do. I think it's the other point I would make is that the management team, I think, has got a lot of experience in developing mining projects. So obviously, Benny Guo, his experience, I think, is clear. He's very strong technically. He's also the founder of the business. We've got two other individuals that have got PhDs, so they're doctors of geology, so they're very experienced in analysing and interpreting lithium deposits, Bryce Healy and Jason Burton. My background's more commercial, I'm more a finance person, but together our skills are complementary, and we've got a track record of not just finding deposits, but bringing them into production.